Well, good afternoon. I wanted to come on today just to kind of share something that's been on my mind for a couple of days now. Just trying to figure out how to really grasp it and to share it with others. And I thought about reflections. You know, sometimes in life you just have to reflect on where you've been and people you've met over the time that influenced your life. I'm talking about people outside of people that you come in contact with every day. So happened I was this morning when I got up and I'm looking over there on my wall of reflections, and I see the picture of me and Reverend Billy Kyles that was present during the time when Martin Luther King was shot. And so I began to reflect on something that he told me, because as I was looking at the photo, I remember it was a point in my life where I had what I shared with a friend on today, distorted vision. But I'll talk about that a little bit. But my main thing is to share with you this morning why you have to continue to hang in there in life, no matter what life deals you. Because that is what Reverend Kyle told me. And on that photo that me and him took together, it came so clear to me that this is how I'm supposed to think and believe, that when things in life don't look so fair to me, to just hang in there. Because he was with, again, Martin Luther King during the time when Martin Luther King was assassinated. He was one of the people, along with Jesse Jackson, that was present. And he spoke at College of the Main, where I still work 20 years later. He spoke that he has since passed away at the age of 81 in 2016. But he said something to me, and as I was, looking through some paperwork, and it said his favorite quote, listen to me, because he said this to me: "Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give up, no matter what life has dealt you. Hold on. Don't you dare give up, no matter what life has dealt you. Hold on." And you know something? During that time, I was juggling in my life, being a single parent and going to college and working on my bachelor's degree at that time, maintaining a household and raising a child, which at that time, my daughter, she was in college. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter. This is something else he told me. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get it, just as long as you get it. Don't become so discouraged that you allow that discouragement to overwhelm you. Because if we had done that, now this him telling me this, if we had done that, there would not be the changes that exist today. If we had thrown in the towel, you wouldn't be able to go to the colleges that you go to. You wouldn't be able to go in some of the hospitals that you're able to go into. And I never forgot that. But during my time of reflections, see, God always have to take us back to reflect so we don't get so far away from him and how he has blessed us. And then we don't begin to give up on ourselves when we look at how good he has been to us, even when we're not good to ourselves. And we all have experienced it where we've beat ourselves down so much. And you know what that reflection told me? You need to stop that. You had someone that God put in your life during a time when you needed to hear that. A time when you needed to hear that. A time when your daughter was just now graduating from high school and had hit her going into her associate degree. You needed that. You needed that. And so God reminded me, and every now and then he has to have a personal conversation with me and you. Because people will beat you down, but God will pick you back up and let you rise to the top. And so guess what? I might not have something that somebody else have. And I may not have traveled the road that somebody else has traveled. But my road is my road. I'm on that street and I'm building streets. And I tell my grandson that all the time. You got to build streets, baby. Because one day you're going to have to take a left. You have to get off of that road that you own. And you're going to have to go on another road. Because Blessed Avenue is out there waiting on you. You're trying to get to Blessed Avenue. See, you can't stay on that road of discouragement and that road of worry and that road of defeat and all of those roads in life that say you go out there and quit. Go ahead on and quit. It's not worth it. But you got to get off that road that's so crowded. You got to keep your circle small. And that is what, as I was reflecting, that Reverend Kyle was telling me. No matter, don't you give up. Don't you lose hope. Don't you dare give up. And I can't tell you how many times he said that in the short amount of time that God had allotted him to speak to me on that day. When he was talking about how Dr. King, that night, he talked about death like he had never talked about it before. He talked about death. See, he knew his time was up. But he had done so much. And God saw him. God saw him. But he left witnesses around so that they could tell the story. And that they could, I put in one of my posts on Facebook, we don't give up our torch. We just pass it on. You don't pass it on, I'm sorry. You don't pass your torch. You light your children and your grandchildren and other young people that's coming up behind you. You light their torch. Because they got to pick up where you left off at. But you got to continue to carry yours until the day you leave here. So even though Reverend Kyle is gone, he left an impact on my life that I will never forget. And he told me, I have a torch, but I light your torch. And you'll light somebody else's torch. And they'll light somebody else's torch. You know why? Because we will tell one another that no matter what, don't you dare give up. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare quit. Don't you quit on yourself. Don't you dare give up no matter what life has dealt you. I'm saying that to you today because I'm passing it on. That's what he told me. And I'm telling y'all, I was at a point where I really wanted to give up. And then God sent such a man that had marched with such a man as Martin Luther King to put such words into my mind that I'll never forget. And so I pass that on to you. And then I go and research and find out that was his favorite quote. Isn't that something? Then, you know what God was reminding me all the time? He was talking about this distorted vision and keeping it in my mind. Don't you let nobody blur your vision. Don't you let nobody tear your hopes and dreams down. Don't you ever let nobody define who you are. Never let nobody say what your destination in life will be. Never let anybody come in and say just because they don't believe in your cause, that is wrong. We all get to our successes differently. We all make a difference in life through different patterns in our lives. See, because my life purpose may not be yours, but that don't make it wrong. How I share words of inspiration and encouragement and how I put that into the atmosphere, that don't have nothing to do with the way that you do it. But see, when he said, don't catch a hold and hang on to that distorted vision, because it's going to blur you. It's going to cause you to forget about all of your purpose, all of your dreams, all of your hard work, all of your goals, all of your beliefs, everything that I poured into you for the purpose that I had for you to fulfill on this side, you will forget about it. Yes, you might have some medical issues along the way, but that's all right because I got that too. You may have some financial problems along the way. That's okay because I got that too. You may have some people talking about you behind your back because they don't agree with the way that you live, but I got that too. You may have some people that walk out on you that say you are not worth it, but I got that too. You may have some people that say that you will never go beyond the point where you are at, but I got that too. People didn't believe that you would get that associate degree, but I had that too. People didn't agree that you would get that bachelor's, but I had that too. People didn't believe that you would get that master's, but I had that too. All the way back to high school, when people gave up on you, when people made fun of you because you couldn't wear the clothes that they wore, because you couldn't wear the shoes that they wore. Guess what? God say I had that too. And if I had you back then, I still got you today. And the only reason why I made it, and the only reason why you make it, is because you refuse to let somebody else distort your vision. That's a dangerous thing when people can do that. Hold on to your hopes. Hold on to your dreams. Don't you ever give up. Don't you never ever give up and throw in the towel. No matter what life deals you, don't you never ever give up. Because God said, I had you back then. I had you way back then. I had you when you was in your mother's womb because I already know what your life was going to be like. Other people can give up on you. Don't you never give up. And we need to say that more often to one another instead of tearing one another down. I'll never forget that conversation. I'll never forget it. He said, Electra, after I told him my name, he said, Electra, don't you dare give up. No matter what life deals you, no matter what life has dealt you already, hold on. I wanted to pass that on because I know that somebody else needed to hear that. See, all that stuff that people think so small of you, God say that's a big thing. So before I get off, let me tell you this. Don't you never, never, never let nobody distort your vision. All right? You got a right. You got a right to reach your potential. Whatever it is. Y'all have a wonderful day. That came from God, and I thank him for it each and every day when he feed my mind. Okay? Love you guys. All right. Bye-bye.